My 2003 Holden Caprice with an LS1 in it has lost second gear in its 4L60E transmission. Today I'm going to attempt to do a how-to video on how to get back your second gear when it starts to just free rev. Hopefully before you lose fourth as well, even though I don't really know myself how to do that. So you can learn with me and watch me absolutely destroy this transmission or get it back. Let's see how we go. Let's see what happens. Slips again. So first gear, second gear, slipping, third gear. My particular sump doesn't seem to have a drain plug, so I've undone all the bolts and just set him up on top of the jack just so I don't drop it on my face. So I'm gonna slowly lower that down and hopefully there's not too much fluid left in it, and we'll see what junk's in the bottom of it. Okay, this is the part that's going to tell us what sort of state our gearbox is in. Already the color in there is no good. However, that's not what we're looking for at the moment. We're just going to drain that slowly into there. So the bottom of that's dusty. It's not chunky and bits and pieces of junk in there. So that's good. We haven't had a catastrophic obliteration of our belt. We've just got a worn belt. So that's excellent. That's, to me, that's what I make of the evidence we got in here anyway. Any transmission gurus out there might say otherwise, but this is about getting second gear back, not about a high mileage reconstruction of our gearbox. So I'm okay with that. This is gonna top back up and we're gonna do the servo pin length adjustment, and we're gonna see if we got second gear back. We'll just have a little look in the pickup screen, see what that looks like. Doesn't look too bad from here, but I'm going to review this video. You're seeing it before me. Bit of degreaser in the pan, come up $1 million. We'll reuse the gasket once it dries off and put it back in and continue. Blob, 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 blob. So I don't know if you've ever been curious about whether this works or not, but I'm actually going to try and run it up and run it through some gears just to get the fluid around the transmission on the stands. Safety first, got a wheel chock. I've wet the driveway at the back there, so worst thing that can happen is we just end up with another burnout mark in the driveway. So 6 litres of oil went in, and then I started the engine and put another litre in and checked the dipstick and it looked good. So we're just going to run it through some gears now. There goes the handbrake. I think we might have some ABS dramas here, but let's have a look at, turn the traction control off first and see what happens. Oh look, we got speed. Oh, fasten seatbelt. Sorry. Safety first, he says. See if we have a blowout when it goes for second. Oh, look out, we got second, third. Shit, we're doing 100 k's an hour on the stands. Look out. That did look like we had second gear though, didn't it? Let's run that a couple of times. Steady, steady. We got no load, so it just goes for it. There you go. So that's possible and quite safe. I was ready for the brake if we took off, but it seems fairly safe. So here we are back underneath the Caprice. Here's our 4L60E transmission sump. And right up there on the side, This bad boy here, I'm told, is the second gear servo piston. So if I just grab my bar, we can do our little test that tells us that it's not that's gone, right? It's the belt that drives has worn out, no longer grips the barrel it's supposed to grip on. So I just put a bar on the cap, lever it in, we'll see it goes in quite a bit. So these are a very American GM transmission, and they say that can only be 1/8 of an inch, which, if you want to talk Australian, that's about 3 mil. So what we're looking at now is like 8 to 10 mil. So we've worn our belt down so that clearance is now too large to grab onto our spinning drum. Our belt doesn't grab our spinning drum, so what we're going to do is elongate the pin on the end of that with some weld, and hopefully we can close up that clearance and bring our belt tight again. That's the theory. I'll see how I go filming the removal of this cap. Bear with me while I struggle with the camera and some tools. Okay, so there is a circlip that holds this cap in. We can see it right here. I'm going to try and have a go at getting it out with one hand while I film this. And I have no idea whether the oil needs to be drained or not before performing this. So let's see if I make a mess. Get out of there, bloody thing. Struggle, but we got it. Is any oil gonna come out? I know there's an O-ring. Oh, there we go. A little bit of oil leaking out. Luckily, I have a drip tray. There we go. Cap's off. All right, what do we got inside here? Let's get that screwdriver out of the way. Would you look at that? Turns out we might not be able to do this all in place. All right, cap come out with a small amount of maneuvering. And the piston come out with next to no maneuvering. I'm just stacking these as I put them down. Oh, look, it's that close, but it just hits on the tunnel. Sorry about the noise. So we're just back on the other side because over that side's in the sun and I burnt my back on the hot driveway. I'm just going to slowly, carefully let this trans down. Oh, it comes out further, but still not enough. So this is the bit we've been chasing. We finally got it free. That's it there. I'll show you that in a second. Make sure I don't drop any clips or bits and pieces in my drip tray. So I did wedge on this tunnel a little bit with a bar to get a bit more clearance. Just giving it a bit of a wipe down, nice little clean up, try and get all the oil off it. What we want to do is build this up so that when we leave it on that cap and the cap moved, eight or 10 mil or whatever it was, we want to bring that movement back down to about 3 or 4. So here's our height now. Hopefully by the time I build it up with some weld, it's going to be up here somewhere. Give us our extra, well, give us our 1/8 of an inch, which is about 3 mil of movement in our cap when we throw this bad boy back in. Hope this works. I only got a dirty old stick welder, so let's see what sort of mess I can make. We have got some ugly mad scientist stuff going on here. Just being careful not to fry the Z. And I'm not just talking about my welds either. There's a pretty ugly mad scientist. Anyway, here's how we're building it up. 1 dollop at a time. Got a couple of mil on there. We've got a couple more dollops to do, but it's working fine. Okay, so we just chucked a little blob over this side just to even that up a bit. So when I go around that with the grinder, we're not going to have a big bent thing on the end. We're up to our height. We needed 74 mil. and we got about 75, which is cool because I'm going to clean that up with a grinder and see how it looks. We've gone from 68 mil to 74 mil. I've done my best to try to carry the same shape all the way through. I'm not too sure if that's what you're meant to do here or not, but hopefully this doesn't come home into a seat and require a good seal, because, well, it's a different shape now and it might get stuck, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. We've got our extra 6 mil, which should reduce, when I levered that cap, should reduce that by 6 mil in theory. Let's chuck it back in, see if that happened. So that's our servo pin going back in. So our servo pistons going back in order of deconstruction. Oh, sorry, reverse order of deconstruction. And the cap just pops back in. As long as you've got the O-ring on, it's not as hard to get back in as it is to get out. Hopefully it doesn't leak. We really should have replaced that. But cap's back in. I'm just about to put the surf clip back in to retain it, and we'll see what sort of movement we got. Okay, surf clip's in, and it does look like we might have had a bit of a whoopsie with my measurements, because we can only get about 1 to 2 mil worth of movement there. Okay, it's running and we haven't got a massive puddle, so that's a good start. Let's see if we got second gear. Might have to get the wife out here in her less than wonderful filming skills again. I'll see if I can figure something out first. So we're just going for a quick test run again, and it looks like our clearance might be too small. Remember I said it needed to be about 3? It's actually down to about 1 or 2, and I don't think we've got the ability to shift to second gear at all. Nope. No, we've still got slipping second. God damn it. What's third do? Does that give us a gear? Nope. Nothing. Whoa, we've got first. Damn. That looks like we may have had a spill of some sort. Got first gear and lots of smoke. Oh, what's happened? Oh, tremendous spill. I bet you we've just spat that whole cap out. Very nice. Nice job, Cody. Oh, dear me. Yep, that's smoke coming out of there. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yep, that's oil everywhere. Oh, Jesus. So there's our cap up there, got a bit of pressure behind it, and I don't think the amount of clearance we had when we pushed the cap was enough, and I think our circlip probably didn't seat properly, because that's it, it's still hanging there, and it just hosed our tranny fluid all over the exhaust, and I was just a smoke ball coming down the highway. No flames yet, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. How funny is that? This is why I do this, man. You don't want to do this stuff at home. You let me make the mistakes, and you learn from my mistakes. I'm going to have a beer anyway. Well, you got to admit, pretty lucky I didn't lose the lot, and look, I don't even know what's holding that on there. So here we are back to the drawing board. We got our piston and stuff out. I'm just going to give it a dust with a bit of blue paint so I can get some sort of mark on it. So we're at 0 movement. We want 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just basically going to cut 1/4 of an inch off the top of that. All right. Am I going to come home on fire again? Or are we going to have second gear? Dirty windscreen can tell you that much. Shitty windscreen wipers can tell you that much too. Okay, out the driveway. It's a good start. Second gear! What? Oh, that's so good. That's the best. And no smoke. Second gear with no smoke. It worked. There we go. Well, that would have cost me about $0 had I have not blown 8 litres of oil out of the side of the transmission. But you get that, and it worked, so that's good. That's not my car that sounds like that, by the way. There's the XR8 in front. How well does it go? First gear. Second gear. And we're doing the speed limit already anyway. This thing bloody rips. Second. And it pulls out a second nicely too. So there you go, pretty happy about that. We got our second gear back. We got dirty. We used the welder. We had a catastrophe, nearly a fire. But guess what? We had no second gear, and now we have second gear, and our transmission is not destroyed. If you have lost second gear, your transmission is not destroyed. You can either go through what I just went through, or go through half of what I just went through and order a longer first to second servo pin from GM. There you go, guys. Hope that was helpful for you.